We know that new Black Mirror is coming soon. After all, Netflix have been dropping new trailers for Season 4 of the dystopian sci-fi anthology series for the past week. So we thought we'd celebrate Seasons 1 to 3 the only way we know how. By ranking them.
But first, make sure you subscribe to GameSpot Universe, where we'll be covering the new season of Black Mirror when it drops on Netflix, alongside our ongoing coverage of Star Wars The Last Jedi and, of course, Rick and Morty.
Now let's rank these bad boys.
We kick off our list with the military dystopia of Men Against Fire. In a post-apocalyptic Denmark, an unnamed military organization is hunting and killing a mutated human population, unaffectionately nicknamed roaches. This being Black Mirror though, things aren't quite as simple as that, and the episode dives headfirst into the arena of high-tech warfare and its philosophical consequences on the world. While it's not a bad episode in any stretch of the imagination, its place on this list is largely down to the heavy-handed way in which it treats its central theme and the fact that it reveals its hand way too early. The murky world of British politics is sent up in the Waldo moment, our number 12 entry. This slice of election madness tells the tale of Jamie, a failed comedian who is also the voice and digital puppeteer of a cartoon bear named, you guessed it, Waldo. Coerced by his producer into running for Parliament as Waldo, Jamie finds himself way in over his head as his election campaign takes an unexpected turn. This episode is totally fine, but doesn't stand up to the high quality of the rest of Black Mirror as it descends into hammy parody towards the end. But its defining virtue is that series creator Charlie Brooker compared it to Trump's 2016 presidential campaign, with the Black Mirror Twitter account tweeting out, "This isn't an episode, this isn't marketing, this is reality." People tend to forget that when they write mean things about others on the internet, that they're talking about a real person. Brooker and co. took this idea one step further in Hated in the Nation, where mean tweets and social media hashtags could be weaponized to kill those who fall foul to the public's ire. If you watch this episode and read Jon Ronson's So You've Been Publicly Shamed, you may never want to use social media ever again. In Be Right Back, our number 10 entry, Martha's boyfriend Ash dies in an accident. Unable to move past her grief and discovering that she's pregnant, Martha uploads Ash's information, including photos, videos, and his social media profiles, to create a virtual Ash. She goes one step further and downloads him onto a blank robot body, but discovers that the new fake Ash isn't the same as the old, real one. I guess technology just isn't a patch on the real deal. You might not know that Charlie Brooker and Dan Trachtenberg, who directed this episode, were former game journalists, but that explains why Playtest is all about them video games, specifically horror games that really get under your skin. If you thought Resident Evil 7 was bad in VR, how's about a game that scans your brain to find out what terrifies you most? Playtest is one of Black Mirror's freakiest episodes, but it is peppered with some hot video game Easter eggs.
Hayukan!
Shut Up and Dance is one of the tensest episodes in Black Mirror, with the character of Kenny being blackmailed into doing a string of unusual and illegal things to prevent a video of him being released onto the internet. If you didn't cover your webcam before seeing this episode, then you definitely will after. In 15 Million Merits, the vast majority of the population are stuck in the rat race, endlessly cycling in order to earn merits to buy goods and services. The only way to escape is to enter a reality TV show called Hot Shot, where winners are able to escape the grind and live in a much nicer place. But the path to fame isn't straightforward, and not everyone can make it. 15 Million Merits really cuts quite close to home, a cutting commentary on our obsession with reality TV shows being the only way to become successful. We live our lives online, posting thoughts, photos, and get effectively rated by other people all the time. But imagine if those ratings and opinions affected your real life. What if you had a rating that everyone could see and immediately judge you on? What if that rating affected things like jobs, things you could buy, or even medical treatment you could receive? That's the reality of Nosedive, one of Black Mirror's more thought-provoking episodes on our reliance on social media. A woman wakes up in a house with amnesia. People hunt her down and try to kill her, but the bystanders do nothing to help, instead just filming her on their phones. It turns out that the woman was complicit in the murder of a small girl, filming her death on her mobile phone. So her punishment is to live this day over and over again, forgetting her crime while running away in fear for her life. White Bear features one of the biggest twists in Black Mirror, and its shock ending was allegedly inspired by a fence that Charlie Brooker saw at the filming location, making him frantically rewrite the episode in just 2 days. Two men are stuck in a snowy outpost and tell each other stories of their past lives to pass the time. How did they end up at that outpost? What secrets will be uncovered? White Christmas is perhaps one of the most ambitious episodes of Black Mirror, with 3 separate threads coming together to make one devastating storyline. In its first episode, the national anthem, a beloved princess is kidnapped, and the only way to secure her release is for the Prime Minister to copulate with a pig live on TV. Part political satire, part devastating commentary on how social media and technology have changed how the news cycle has to work, Black Mirror came out with a bang. Or should that be a squeal? If you ever feel like you tend to overanalyze situations or replay conversations over and over in your head, then just be glad you don't have a grain, because it'll probably drive you mad. In the entire history of you, this piece of tech allows its users to record everything they see and hear and replay these memories at will. Unfortunately for Liam, he kind of gets a bit obsessed with his grain when he suspects that his wife is having an affair. This episode is so different to the usual Black Mirror fare in that it's got a happy ending. The town of San Junipero is a simulated reality in which you can upload your consciousness to live in, and even if you die in real life, you can live there forever. It's an uplifting tale complete with an 80s backdrop, in which technology manages to bring 2 people together who otherwise wouldn't have met. Come on, you knew Yorkie and Kelly's love story would be #1 on this list.
So that's the GameSpot Universe definitive ranking of Black Mirror seasons 1 to 3. Do you agree? Disagree? Let us know in the comments below, or come find me on Twitter. I'm at LucyJamesGames. And for more on Black Mirror, make sure you keep your eyes peeled to this digital hellscape that is YouTube. Subscribe!